main goal today was really to demonstrate to the policymakers and the downstream value chains that the copper industry is fully committed to an engagement in how the copper products can help to deliver a 25% reduction in EU carbon emissions by 2050.
We show not only the problems, but that we show also solutions where we see opportunities where we can make our contributions to the reduction of CO2 in our entire world.
The record that has been presented here today is encouraging. CO2 emissions by the sector reduced substantively, around 40% compared to 1990. That's a good achievement.
Looking at the non-ETS sector, looking at heating, cooling, transport, infrastructure, there a lot could be done. And there I think that we need much more ambitious national targets to get that realized. And there copper could contribute very heavily.
The European Copper Institute is opening a dialogue across sectors, trying to break out of the silo thinking that has put a brake on some of the policy developments we can see in Europe.
And I'm very happy that it's possible to have common targets.
So we need to raise the ambition level, and then we definitely also need a more collaborative spirit here in Brussels.
We need to have dialogue. Regulators, whether at European or at national level, need to understand the needs, the technological potentials of industry, and therefore exchange and discussion is very important. What we also need is in substance. We need the industry to become more resource efficient. We need the industry to fully buy into the possibility to become circular.
If we look what has to be done, I think it is very clear that it is our obligation to strive for low carbon technologies, and certainly that means not removal of that industry to another area in the world simply because then it is out of sight and out of mind, but we have to find smart solutions that are able to operate in highly industrialized countries that are compliant with all aspects of the environment.
Clearly, every resource that we mine from the earth, including copper, must be used in a very sensible and very long life way.
But also let's make sure that from a policy point of view that we have a level playing field and then make sure that we have a right alignment of incentives so people are encouraged to actually save energy when it makes sense.
It's not free of charge. It will cost money. But taking leadership in this and going in this direction, which is unavoidable at the end of the day, because the population will stay growing, the carbon emissions will become a more serious problem. If we are doing that now in Europe as leadership, we might be capable of setting a tune in the world, which is a nice achievement for 500 million people in a world of 7 billion. The policymakers of Europe should give clear decarbonization targets on the national level, which would be addressing transport, which would be addressing heating and cooling emissions, which would be addressing agriculture. That's a difficult message, I understand that, because the voters are involved. Nevertheless, we have to go that road. We can not only decarbonize the industry. I see that the non-industrial sector is lagging behind, and there I'm very pleased with the Copper Institute, what they could bring to the table.
I think we have a lot of energy efficient technologies today. Almost all of them somehow use copper into the different functionalities.
Technologies that we propose are all existing, they're all commercially available, and if we were to accelerate the adoption of those technologies in the marketplace, we could much more aggressively achieve the plans ahead of us.
I think today a lot of the policymakers underestimate what technology can actually do today.
Copper is everywhere. It's in like most applications, and it's affected by a lot of different regulations. And I think the key message for policymakers is, if you come up with something that will, in effect, put some kind of challenges on the copper industry, please look at the benefits that also exist from the use of copper products. We think this is about a policy balance.
The copper industry is in a far better position to cope with multi-metal solutions than any other metals industry. This is, however, also the possibility for the recycling, because we are used to work with low metal contents, extract those metal contents, and basically circulate or close the entire loop.
Copper, I suppose, for me means that I get the services that I'm looking for in my life delivered more effectively to where I want to use them.
I cannot imagine an electricity world where we are going, in my opinion, in decarbonized, without copper.
Copper, of course, is essential in our society, but it's also one of the energy-intensive industries. And I think that copper, alongside other energy-intensive industries, have actually leading the way, trying to point to the solutions that we need.
The industry could do a little bit better, and it's committed to doing a bit better, but the opportunities for savings that exist are relatively modest. The savings that exist from copper products are orders of magnitude greater, and if that message alone is the key from today's debate, then we will have been successful.